Hello everyone. So I felt the need to talk about 3D timelines crashing and coming to conclusions and just coming to a head at this time. So what we're moving through right now is a huge collective quantum jump, quantum leap, and a lot of us who are meant to go into our union timelines are really being redirected, or there's endings. There's a lot of the 3D timelines that are wrapping up and crashing. So we're going through huge shifts right now on this planet. We're going through huge collective shifts, and everything that is not in alignment for you at this time is going to be ending if it's not in alignment to your higher purpose, your higher direction. So a lot of what's happening right now is that the 3D timelines, these old past timelines, are being eradicated, or we are healing these past timelines. So when we talk of 3D, these timelines are past timelines. So what's happening on a collective level is that we are closing up these cycles. These are a lot of the times these karmic cycles. And so right now is a time where a lot of us are feeling this pressure of these timelines ending, or we're moving into our destined timeline. So if you're doing the work on this journey as a divine feminine, you know that if your divine masculine is still in old timelines, still stuck in 3D timelines, they will also be shifting out of the 3D matrix, the 3D old reality, the 3D, that's keeping them stuck and keeping them away from union. So a lot of this is going to bring up the ego, which is trying to just hold on to what it knows. It's trying to hold on to the past. It's trying to hold on to the safety, because your ego will always try to keep you down and try to convince you otherwise, because it's a completely different structure to your soul, or where your soul is trying to take you, and ultimately what your path is as you are on this journey of ascension. You're not on a journey to be led by your ego. You are now aligning back to your soul and higher timelines of your soul, which is why we're doing ascension, which is what ascension is about. It's not about the ego anymore having control of your life or leading your life. It's coming back to fully the soul being in control and you aligning back to your soul path. And so the soul path, if you're on this path to your divine union, is to attain divine physical union. You are here to have that. So everyone is being shifted and aligned back to that. So the divine feminine, if you're doing the work, if you're on your journey and you're, steadfast on your journey, you are awake, you're doing your inner union process, you will be shifting your divine counterparts timelines as well, and crashing those if they are not in alignment to where they're meant to be. So all of us have to go through our individual process, and that means also the divine masculines. They have to go through their individual process as well. And so whatever they're going through is ultimately leading them back to union timeline. So it doesn't matter what's happening in their 3D life. You just have to remember that this is all energy and you're one soul. So if you are moving into union timeline, so are they. They may be a little bit behind, because the divine masculine follows feminine. So he may be behind you, and the 3D is slow. The 3D doesn't represent, your alignment all the time right away. So this is a process where the divine feminine is going first. She's attaining her inner union. She's coming into her union alignment, and then the divine masculine follows. So this is how it works on this journey. So a lot of what's happening right now is that the divine masculines are feeling this push or this tug, and their 3D life is almost crumbling, or things are coming to a head, and they can no longer ignore anything in their 3D life or 3D timelines, or anything that's false is coming to a head and coming to a close ultimately, which may take some time to close. However, you have to remember that things are wrapping up in 3D. If they're not meant to continue in 3D, if they're on an ascension path, those timelines will close for them. And the more that you align to your soul, your higher blueprint, your inner union, the more that it's shifting the divine counterpart wherever he is or she is. So it's not about looking at the 3D and seeing what's going on in 3D. It's about continuing with your own ascension, knowing that both of you are heading towards union timeline, and that's a predestined plan. If you are on this divine union path, everyone's moving to the divine union. You're here to have physical union. You're here to come into physical manifestation of your union. The way that it works is that it happens energetically first, and then it manifests physically. The 3D is the separation, so everything has to be wrapped up. If they are still in 3D, you need to allow that process to happen. But you do not wait around, or you're not waiting anymore anyway. When you come into inner union, you're not waiting. You're in your alignment. You're connected back to source. You're back into your highest alignment. You're back in your divine feminine power. You're not waiting. You're creating your highest timelines. You're anchoring union timeline. You're manifesting the highest timelines. This is shifting everything in 3D and shifting your divine masculine into alignment to future timeline of union. This is important to understand for the divine feminines, to not get trapped in looking at 3D or fueling the 3D timelines. These 3D timelines are ending because if you're in divine union path, a lot of the divine masculines will be shifted because it's their journey is to come into union and come into union timeline with you. So this is what's happening, but a lot of the times the ego will come in to try to stop this process, or there's an ego battle happening. And a lot of the collective is experiencing that as these 3D timelines are really shattering and really, coming to an end. And the ego, or this 3D structure, is trying to hang on so hard and is fighting to remain the same, but it cannot. It will be a fight, but it's not going to win. The fight is not going to win the internal battle. This is what a lot of the divine masculines are experiencing, I feel, at this time, especially if the divine feminines have shifted really, really quickly into alignment to union or the inner union. So this is really affecting the divine masculines who are feeling this pressure and, feeling their 3D timeline or their egoic structure crumbling on them, and they're trying to hang on as much as possible, but they cannot anymore, because in these energies that we are in, it's very much that we are seeing the ending of a lot of these 3D timelines, and people are shifting very quickly into their higher timelines, into their soul timelines, into their destined timelines of their soul blueprint. So it's all happening. It's just a matter of, things unfolding in 3D. But it is the process first and foremost, the energetics, and the feminine is leading that process. So this was the message for today. There's a lot happening in the timelines right now. We're going through a huge shift, and you're doing great on your process. You are doing fantastic. Continue coming into your inner union and being steadfast on your journey. If you would like more support, join the community on Patreon. I do one-on-one sessions as well. I have my courses available if you need more support on your journey and your process. Sending you lots of love, and I will connect with you in the next video.